Chilling up in the kingdom, chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the brothers and the sisters, cooling out, having fun, drinking yayan with Yahweh Shai up in the kingdom, yeah.
Who are we? It's God. That who are we is God. Can't hear you.
Israel.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power.
I said, who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome to another live class here with ISBHPK. We are located at 231 FM 1092, Stafford, Texas, zip code 77477. Don't let the Stafford, Texas fool you. We're located in Houston, Texas, pretty much. Our class times and days is Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9, Fridays from 6 to 8, Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. All right. We also got a school in San Antonio, Texas. Their address is 4444 Walls Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code 78218. Their class times and days is pretty much the same as Houston. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7:30 to about 10:30, and then Saturday from about 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to the Houston, San Antonio, and now the Norfolk channel, which is 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia. Zip code 23517. Class times and days Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. And we got the Rochester channel and school. The address out there is 1600 Lyle Ave, Suite 1A, Rochester, New York. Did I say it right?
What?
Lyle?
It's Lyle.
Lyle.
Lyle. Yeah.
Why'd they spell it like that?
Bro, just like what's the one beach? What's the beach? Charlotte? Chilai? It's Charlotte.
It's Charlotte Beach.
It's Charlotte, just like how you would say Charlotte anywhere else.
Yeah.
They do something different in Rochester. They got different vowels.
I don't know why you losing
You
me.
can call it Charlotte.
What's the other one? What's the other one? There's another one.
Charlotte, that's how you say
There's
it.
another spot though. There's another thing that y'all. Yeah, I'm like, why y'all call it that? It's I don't remember. It's Rochester. They make their own rules, man.
God. So, they make their own rules.
Chilai.
We got a school out there. So again, the address is on there.
Chilai.
Their class times and days is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2. If you're on this channel right now on ISBHPK Houston, go ahead and type in ISBHPK Rochester. You should see it. They're at 67 subscribers. We gotta get their subscribers to 1,000 views. We must get their subscribers to 1,000 views. Why? Because the faster we get them to 1,000 views, I said 1,000 views, to 1,000 subscribers, the faster they can go live, all right? So we gotta get them to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed to their channel yet, please go ahead and do so. They got 3 classes on there with 1 street speaking. So yeah, definitely like, share, and subscribe to that Rochester channel. All right?
He's gonna put up at least 1 video a week. What he does, he's gonna record and then throw them up. So, or he might record all his classes and put them up. That way we can get that steam going.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we ask that you like, share, and subscribe to Mashala's Ball Talk Radio. They're pretty much doing it every day now. So if you haven't, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to that. Like, share, and subscribe to the 5 Minutes of Wisdom Hidden Truth Bible Show, Israelite Media Corp. And we definitely want to ask that everybody like, share, and subscribe to the ISBHPK Kids channel. They go live at 2 p.m. every Sunday, all right? Those are all the avenues you can catch us. Of course, if you like the French shirt, it's $35 for a shirt, $75 for the shirt and the headband. I'm rocking a shirt right now. I'm rocking a French shirt right now. A fringed up shirt, $35 for this shirt, $35 for the shirt and the headband.
They
$78.75 for the shirt and the matching headband. All right. So if you haven't subscribed to Israel Wear, I don't know what you're doing. You know. So yeah, definitely subscribe to that. Israel Wear, of course, is always taking, you know, they're always taking jobs. So if you'd like to get a custom garment made, of course you can. If you'd like to do Hebrew Academy, we did ours yesterday here in Houston. Houston, we do Academy on Tuesday. Rochester's Monday, and Virginia is every Wednesday. That's for brothers that's trying to, you know, move into the office of teaching. And real quick, the memorial of blowing the trumpets is coming up. It's going to be on the 26th. It's going to be on the 26th of September. What day is it today?
7.
Today is the 7th, so 14, 21. So we got,
19 days.
yeah. So we got like almost 2.5 weeks until Memorial of blowing the trumpet. So definitely look out for that. If you'd like to contact any of the priests, because Zop's right here to my left. His number is 303-557-8979. Kazakia's number is 757-300-4047. We ask that you please support our business, Sweet Ambiance, Chosen Creations. If you'd like to get, listen, man, if you haven't hopped on Etsy and check, is that how you say it, Etsy?
Yeah. ESTY. Wow.
Sometimes I be calling it ecstasy.
If you haven't hopped on ecstasy,
You haven't hopped on Etsy.
try.
No, if you haven't hopped on Etsy, listen, definitely hop on Etsy and see, you know, what's on there, man. We can definitely get you something nice for your house in Etsy, on our Etsy channel. So it's Chosen Creation on Etsy, all right? And if you'd like to send in any donations, of course, you can send in donations. The donation links is on the screen, so definitely listen. Definitely give, man. Definitely give for a donation. So we'd like to say thanks to everybody that has given. All right? So with that, we're gonna open it up for class.
Yeah. How's everybody feeling? Read. So, what's the title of the class? What we got up there?
Pharaoh's mind.
Right. So, the title of the class is The God of Egypt, Part 1. And it is a little subtitle, Pharaoh's Mind, or Pharaoh's Pride, or Pharaoh's Mind?
Mind.
Pharaoh's Mind. Right? And so, I know I've been kind of mentioning that I wanted to start going over these plagues, right? And you know, really to show, because we go over the plagues, we read them in Exodus, right? We read in Exodus about the 10 plagues that the Most High put the Egyptians through to pull us out of Egypt. And you know what I've been putting together is this class to show that each plague was one of the Egyptian gods, right? The Egyptians, they had about 1,500 gods, and they put a lot of credit. They put their lives in the hands of their gods. So what I want to do is, I'm not going to go into the 10 plagues today. But what I do want to do is go into a little intro class. Man, bad time.
It's like that.
Just highlighting a few situations on why did the Most High why did he have to go about the 10 plagues the way he did? You know, why did he have to use these 10 plagues and really challenge, if you want to call it challenge, these Egyptian false idols? Because they're not even gods, they're idols.
Yeah.
Why did he have to make such a display? Right? So I want to touch on that, and you know, fun little class. Go to Exodus 3 real quick. Exodus 3, and you're going to start at verse 7.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 7.
Right? Make sure everybody gets it. We ain't going to rush through this. We ain't going to rush through this one. Take our good, sweet little time. Everybody got it? Exodus 3 and 7, read.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 7.
Right?
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people,
Right?
which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows.
He said, I what?
I know their sorrows.
Right, because at this time, this is when they put us in that bondage, right? We no longer had the good estate in Egypt. And what I'm going to do also, I don't know, I've been on this Egyptian wave lately, where I've been really going into the Egyptian history, really our history in Egypt. So there's going to be some other classes coming about what we were dealing with in the time when we were in captivity in Egypt. But he said he's seen our affliction, right? Because remember, there was a time when we were in Egypt as rulers, Joseph, the Hyksos. Then, through a course of time, we started to lose our stature, and the Egyptians started to rise back over and take over the land and the people. So then they figured out how to subdue us and keep us from joining with the other nations that they had beef with, was to put us in slavery. Y'all get that? And we'll go over that in another class. I'm just kind of giving y'all a brief synopsis. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Right.
And to bring them up out of that land unto a good land.
Right, because wasn't that the promise? The promise was what? That, well, who was the promise to, first of all? McGunn.
Abraham.
And what did he promise him? Where did he promise Abraham? Anybody? McGunn.
A land flowing with milk and honey.
Right. That Abraham would inherit the promised land, right? The land of Canaan. The land flowing with milk and honey. And, I mean, the land of Canaan, part of it was Egypt. Then you had the land over across the Jordan, right? So that was the promise from Genesis. So here's the Most High doing what? Coming back and remembering the covenant he made with Abraham for what Abraham did and making good on his promise. Right? Go ahead.
Unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey,
Right?
unto the place of the Canaanites.
Right, because the Canaanites dwelt in that land, right? The Canaanites being from what nationality? McGunn?
The Hamites.
Right, the Canaanites coming from Ham, right? Remember, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. So the Canaanites, go ahead.
And the Hittites.
Read.
And the Amorites.
Uh-huh.
And the Perizzites.
Right.
And the Hivites. And the Jebusites.
Right.
Now therefore.
Right, so these 6 nations that occupy that land, the Most High said, you're going to get them out that land. Tell them where you at.
Verse 9. I'm in Exodus chapter 3, verse 9.
Right. So the Most High said, listen, I'm going to give you this land. Even though the Canaanites are there, you're going to go to this land, spy it out, do all these different things, and you're going to get them out the land. All you got to do is show up. Y'all remember that from Numbers, Leviticus, all the Sabbath class that we've been doing? Now, what was one of the key things that the Most High said about this land that he was giving it to us? Who remembers from, I think it was last week we went over it. Why did he say that he was giving us the land? Michael.
Because they defiled the land?
Right. He said, not because of your righteousness that I'm giving you this land, but it's because they defiled the land that I'm going to give you the land, right? So basically, Most High had beef with the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Perizzites, right? Right? The Hivites, the Jebusites, right? The Amorites. He had beef. He didn't like the way that they were dealing in the land. Damn, I'm trying to find this. And so what did he do? He said, well, listen, first of all, it was a promise to Abraham. Second of all, look at how they're dealing in the land. They defiled the land with what? What were they defiling the land with? Was it that they were just peeing in the grass? Letting their dogs poop on the grass and not cleaning it up? What was it? Derek. You had your hand up, right?
No,
Oh, no. Well,
I take a shot.
Take a shot. Yeah, you got it.
Man, they worshiping other gods.
That's it. That's the main thing that they were doing. He's right on point, right? Have no other gods before me. What did they do? No, we gonna ball and we're gonna sacrifice babies and we're gonna do all these different things, right? We're gonna cut our beards off and throw the hair in the fire and make a wish. We're gonna drink blood. We're gonna unlawful animal sacrifice people, right? So they defiled the land because of the practices. Because of the practices that they were doing. And remember, the Canaanites wasn't about the law. They weren't about keeping the law. So you can only imagine the filth that was going on, the killings and the murders. Remember, Sodom and Gomorrah comes from who? Right. So their cousins was out there, right, doing sodomatical practices, like the scriptures say. So just imagine all the things that we see today. Is America not defiled? It's filthy. Right? So just imagine if you look at America and you're like, man, it's filthy. Imagine what they were doing in Canaan. It was filth. So the Most High said, I'm going to give you this land because of them. Not because y'all are on point. Because remember, were we coming out of Egypt? Nah, we weren't on point. We were just as filthy as the Egyptians. Right? Trying to get cleaned up through the law, through the wisdom. Read on for me.
Verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me.
Right.
And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
Right. So the Most High is looking down and seeing the condition that we're going through. Right. He's hearing the cry, the one consent, the same mind, same judgment of us in Egypt. That's why he acted. Right. Why do you think he ain't acting today? I think I talked about this in the last class. What?
Because we're all divided.
Right. You got cats crying out for this. I'm crying out for reparations. I'm crying out for 40 acres and a mule. I'm crying out for my woman. I'm crying out for a better job. Some people are crying for righteousness. Some people are crying to Christ died so I can, have love is love. Right? So you got our people. Some of us are crying out for the oppressor. Well, how come the white man can't make it to heaven? Right. Ooh. Most High ain't dealing with that. He's waiting for us to come into one consent and cry unto him to pull us out of this captivity. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Come, now therefore,
right,
and I will send thee unto Pharaoh.
Right. Speaking to Moses, he said, come therefore, I'm going to send you to Pharaoh. Go ahead.
That thou mayest bring forth my people.
Right.
The children of Israel out of Egypt.
Right. So that was the whole purpose was, okay, how do I get these people delivered from this slavery and from this bondage? Now we know our next deliverance is not going to be Moses. Right? It ain't going to be Jeremiah, or it ain't going to be Hosea. It ain't going to be Elijah, right? It ain't going to be Isaiah. It's not going to be any of those prophets. We know that our next salvation, it's going to trump, not Donald Trump. Come on. It's going to trump Egypt in a way where, what does the scripture say? We ain't even going to forget about Egypt, right? Because if you read the Bible, he always reminds us, remember Egypt, remember Egypt, remember Egypt, remember how I delivered you. Remember when I pulled you out of Egypt with a strong arm. Remember this plague. Remember that plague. Remember how I did Pharaoh. But this next time, once he delivers us, what is he going to be able to say? He said, we're going to look across and see Babylon burning. Egypt is going to be like Egypt. When you read Joel, right? When you read Obadiah, when you read Revelations, when you go through those books, when you read that, when he says Yahweh Shai is going to come with clouds and with the angels at the trump. When you read Amos, and he said the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. This is going to be the greatest spectacle. The dead are going to see it. Think about that. I'm going to raise you up from the dead so you can see it. The dead wasn't getting raised up in Egypt to see the destruction of Egypt. But he's going to raise the dead to see the destruction of this place. And if you lived wickedly, he's going to cut you back down and send you right back into hell. And if you live righteously, what is he going to do? He's going to resurrect you to glory, everlasting, right? That's what the scriptures say. So we know that there's going to be dead bodies, right? Like the scriptures say in our next deliverance, coming from all different places, man. From the sea, from the oceans, wherever we fell. That's what's going to be happening. But right now we're dealing with this Egyptian deliverance, right? So we know what the Most High's mind state was towards the people, which was what? I got to get my people out of Egypt. They're ready. They're finally ready to serve me. Right. Right? They finally got it after an 80-year butt whooping. Right? 80 years of making brick with straw, stomping that out. You ever see them make brick with straw? Wow. You gotta research that when you get a chance. Very, very labor intensive. It's not an easy job. And you can only imagine that the Egyptians didn't take pity on little young tender children, right? Like him, little old Max and these guys back here, and right? They didn't take pity. Think about it. In the modern slavery that we just went through, Jim Crow South, you got the photos of what? Little 5-year-olds doing what? What?
Picking cotton.
Picking cotton. You think they took pity because you were 5, 6, 7? Oh, he's too young to pick cotton. They were like, man, he got fingers. He got fingers and feet. He's picking cotton. So
That's why they call them pygmies.
they call it pygmies, right?
Because they'll be at your knees picking.
Ooh,
That's what we use in Jamaica to call a child
a
sometimes.
child a pygmy.
Pygmy.
Yeah. Right? But just think about it. You think Egypt, if they didn't care about you working 10 days straight, you think they cared about your children? Stomping out bricks and stomping out straw to make bricks. Then it got harder. He said, what? Now you got to go make brick without the straw. Go get your own straw. I'll make it harder for you. So the Most High's mind towards us was what? Just like a proper father-son relationship, right? They got to get chastised. They got to feel it. They got to go through it. I gave them the chance, but they didn't seize the opportunity. But now they're ready to learn. Now they're ready to join to me, so I'm gonna come get y'all. Like a good father should, right? Wouldn't you do that for your child? Let him sit in the dungeon for a little bit? Let me ask y'all a real question. I just want to know. You ever had a child that went to jail? Would you leave him there? Raise a hand. Who would leave their child? Let him sit there for a little bit. He looked back like, ooh, wait a minute. he looked back like, hold up, wait a minute. Right? But why? Now, are you going to leave him in jail to rot? No, you're not going to leave him in jail to rot, but you might sit back and say, well, you got here. But I took, like y'all see what's going on with T.I. and his son? Y'all see, like, King, right? His 18-year-old son. Right, that he always talked about and put him on the music and this and that and that. Now he's following in his daddy's young footsteps and getting in trouble with the law. So T.I. goes on the live and he's like, listen, y'all got to stop telling me what to do with my son. I've been telling him how he should live his life, the things that he needs to do, but he got to learn his lesson. He got to deal with the consequences as a man, right? And at some point, you got to deal with your consequence, right? When you look at these 10 plagues and when we look at what the Most High is doing with us and what he's doing with Egypt and the Pharaoh, this is about choices and consequences. That's what it all boils down to, right? We chose to not follow the Most High, the way he wanted to, so there was consequence. And then once we realize our consequence and say, you know what, enough's enough. Once your child realizes and says, man, enough's enough, what do? You pull them out the fire and you say, listen, this is why you went through that. Here, I'm going to show you why. And then here's the rules one more again. Right? Here's the law one more time in a more plain way for you to follow, to not keep making the same mistakes. Right? And what tends to happen? It goes either which way, right? Either they follow and have a clear path, or they say, you know what, nah, I like that butt whooping. I like that fire. I'm gonna hop right in the frying pan with gasoline draws on, right? I like to get burnt up. I like jail. I like hard times. I like hardship. Right? The scriptures say, somebody get it. I'll find it real quick. It says, let me get this real quick. Proverbs 13 and 15. Go to Proverbs 13 and verse 15.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 15.
Right?
Good understanding giveth favor.
Yeah, when I have a good understanding of how I should operate and how I should move, it says it brings favor. Go ahead.
But the way of transgressors
Go ahead.
is hard.
Yeah, but if I want to transgress and go against, come on, like go back to when you were a child, or even you children now. When you want to go against your parents, is it easier? No. I'm gonna answer for y'all. No. Right? Is it easier to live in the house and be around and just live life when you're a rebellious child? No, it's not. It's actually harder. And the more stubborn you are, doesn't make it easier because you know how to rebel and get more hard-headed. That doesn't make it easier. That just makes your life harder, because the lessons that you're supposed to pick up in life, it takes you longer to pick those things up. Then you make more mistakes. Ask your parents. Just ask them. Ask them if a lot of the mistakes that they made, did they regret? And could they have been avoided if they had to just listen to the generation before them on certain things? They'll tell you, man, I wish I knew, if I would have known now what I knew then, or however you say that. Hindsight 2020, right? But guess what? All that's nonsense. You know why? We shouldn't need hindsight when we got wisdom. You don't need hindsight when you got the word. You don't need to, damn, man, hindsight's 20. If I would have known back then what I know now, well, you know back then. It's already there for you. Don't make the same mistakes, right? So, read that again.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 16.
Right?
Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge.
That's not it. Proverbs 13 and 15.
Good understanding giveth favor. But the way of transgressors is hard.
Right, and that's what we got to look at, is the way of transgressors. What we had to deal with in Egypt, and then what Egypt had to deal with by going against the Most High. How hard it was. Where all they had to do was just let go. Just let us go, dog. Right? Just open your hand, let us go. We be on our way. But you have to drag it out and go through all these different punishments for what?
Yeah.
Right? So we're gonna explore why, though. So, you know, the first that was one scripture. You could just write intro, right? That's how I have it on my paper, intro. And then the next point, you can put the mind of the wicked. And in parentheses, I got Pharaoh, because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with Pharaoh. But as we go through these scriptures, ask yourself, when have you had your Pharaoh moment? Because we all have, right? We've all had our Pharaoh-like moment. We've all had our moment of stiff-neck, hard-head rebellion, right? Where it's like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't going that way. I ain't listening to that. I ain't hearing that. We've all had those moments. Right? So go back to Exodus. You're at Exodus, right? Go to 5 and 2. So the mind of the wicked, in parentheses, Pharaoh. In the title of the class, what did we title it again? The God of Egypt, part 1, Pharaoh's mind. Because that's what we want to deal with is what was Pharaoh's mind concerning just a simple request of the Most High. Something so simple, man. Why did it have to get, it's like, why did it have to get so hard? Why did it have to go through this? Right? And remember, this is an intro class to the 10 plague class that I'm going to start going through here. You know, might do one next week, might do one in a month. Break it up a little bit. But they're fun little classes, man, because when we go through these Egyptian gods, y'all going to learn some things about these Egyptian gods that you probably didn't know before. And you're going to see you talk about comic book. Woo! You're going to see the comic relief of these gods. Read Exodus 5 and verse 2.
Exodus chapter 5 and verse 2. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord?
Because remember, Moses was sent by the Most High. Most High said, let his people go. What did Pharaoh say?
Who is the Lord?
See, automatically off the top, Pharaoh's mind was like, who's he? And not in like, man, who is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, show me about him. It was like, he might as well have said, Negro, please. Who that? Like, who's God? I don't mess with him. Go ahead. No, go ahead, read, and I'm going to let you come in. Go ahead.
Who is the Lord? That I shall obey his voice to let Israel go.
Right. Now, what were you going to say, Yashikar?
In the UFC, right? You got that Benjamin that just won the championship, Edwards, right?
Okay.
And you had that white boy, Kobe Covington, who was fighting that Hamas for a while, that Kobe Covington.
Okay.
That John broke. Mm-hmm. And they played a video just on this console, like, who is the Lord? Mm-hmm. But the way he said, real condescending. They asked Kobe Covington, oh, do you ever want to fight Leon Edwards? And he was like,
who's he? Right. Like, it's a sarcastic snuff.
Who's that guy?
It's a snuff at a person like, who? Like, they're beneath me. See, Pharaoh's mind was, wait a minute, your God's beneath me. Why? Because who was Pharaoh to himself? Who was he? You said it.
He was God.
Pharaoh was God manifested on earth. He was the physical manifestation of God. So to him, he's like, who? I said, God? Nigga, I didn't say that to myself to tell you. So what God are you speaking of? Right? He automatically was in the mind of who is he? He ain't me. Now, it's funny, me and Zion were talking today, and we were talking about, in the scriptures where it said the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart. But think about it. Before any plague hit, before any calamity hit, the Most High just went and made a petition through Moses. Hey, let him go. Wasn't Pharaoh already hardened? What made him hard? What hardened him? Well, we just talked about it. The fact that you're bringing this God to me and I am God. The fact that you're telling me about some God that I ain't never heard of and I don't care about, making some requests on his behalf, but Negro, I am God. I'm the Alpha and Omega, right? I'm the H and I C, right? I'm all that, right? Like, what are you speaking of? Go ahead, read on.
I know not the Lord.
Right? I don't know the Lord, or whatever Lord you're speaking of. I know Ra. I know Isis. I know Set. I know Nut. I know Heket. I'm naming all their little gods, right? I know them, but even them right now ain't God. You know why? Because I'm here. I'm here. So they don't even take precedence right now because I'm the one that's running things on earth. And really, I'm going to try to fool myself and act like I'm running things in the heavens, in the spiritual realm when you're not. Read on.
Neither will I let Israel go. And they said, the God of the Hebrews have met with us.
You niggas are slaves. Y'all ain't got no God. Y'all are slaves. Ain't that how they look at y'all now?
Yeah.
Like, what God? Black people ain't got no God. Y'all are in ghettos, slums. Y'all killing, like, God? But y'all killing each other. God, but y'all on crack. So what y'all got? The crack God? Oh, the clothing God, the apparel God. The Jordan God, the car God. What God? Well, Israel got as many gods as they got cities, like the Bible says. Right? But the people out in the world look at our people in this mind of, look at y'all. Your baby is born on crack. What God is rocking with y'all? You ain't got no land or no language. What God is with you? You still on minimum wage. You got food stamps. Oh, I know what God you got. The black woman. The black woman is your God. She could barely grow her damn hair, but she's the black man's God? Okay. She could barely pay her own rent, but she's the black man's God? But that's how they look at you, like, yeah, your God is your woman. Your God is your car. Your God is your money. There's no way you got some God in the heavens looking out for you and you're living in this condition. So can you only imagine what Pharaoh was thinking when they said the God of the Hebrews? I'm pretty sure he chuckled, because I'd have laughed. I would have been like, y'all tripping. Y'all ain't got no power. Y'all ain't got no Lord. Y'all ain't got no God. Y'all ain't got no officers. Y'all ain't got no order, nothing, structure, nothing. So you can only imagine Pharaoh looking at the estate of the Hebrews and might have chuckled within himself. And that really fueled him to say, bro, y'all tripping. Bro, go ahead and get back to work. Right? You're alleviated from my presence. Right? Get back to work, building them bricks. Read on.
Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God.
Right?
Lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword.
Right. And we know better, right? Obviously, we know better. We know what Moses' mission was on, or what mission Moses was on.
Right.
Moses knew what mission he was on. Moses seen the signs, the burning bush, right? And all those different things. Him being able to flee from Egypt and understanding and living that dual lifestyle, being an Egyptian himself, so to speak, right? Growing up in Pharaoh's house, being the general in the army, having the fame, the fortune, but then coming to recognition that, wait a minute, I'm not these people. There's something greater. So Moses got it. And because Pharaoh didn't mean that it wasn't real. But really, what was blocking Pharaoh from even seeing what the Most High was asking? Because was it unreasonable to just let these people out of slavery? It wasn't unreasonable. You can only imagine that Egypt had other slaves. Egypt was fighting wars with the Nubians. They was fighting wars with all types of people that was in that region. And if they were the ruling power of the time, you can only imagine that them letting us go. Yeah, it would have hurt a little bit because we were a large people, a large workforce, but Egyptian society would have went on. I mean, we see what happened when they didn't let us go, what happened. Right? So it would have been better to just let the people go and have a smaller workforce and carry on life as is, right? With a little bit less people. But what was it that was catapulting Pharaoh? What was his mind? What?
His own pride.
His pride, his ego. Somebody look up the word. Let me see. I didn't even look it up myself. I'm going to look it up real quick. But while I look it up, go to Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4. Psalms 10 and verse 4.
John.
And let everybody get it.
Con.
Go ahead, read it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance,
Right,
will not seek after God.
right. And you can only imagine Pharaoh's countenance in dealing with Moses. That old what's the word that snobby, nose turned up at you type, looking down, but condescending. What?
Conceited.
Conceited, right? Conceited. I want to look that word up. Conceited. Conceited. Let's see here. Ooh. No, I don't like that definition. But you can only imagine Pharaoh's conceit based off of what? Himself. And then what else? What else was he conceited in, or what else was his, what else would puff up his ego to the point of, bro, I'm not trying to hear what you're saying. Forget about not trying to hear you, but I'm just going to say that your God ain't even real. Who is he? What you got something?
So self-satisfied.
Self-satisfaction. What else?
Self-important.
Right? Self-important.
Self-involved.
What are you looking at? What word?
Conceited.
Conceited. Okay. What else?
Stuck up.
Stuck his nose up at Moses.
Yeah, it says snotty.
Snotty, snobby. Right? What you got? You got something?
It says superior.
Superior. Only in your mind. Only to yourself. Right? Finish. Read that Psalms 10 and 4 one more time.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High.
Go ahead.
The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Yeah, but see, Pharaoh was in his own thoughts. Me being the God manifested on earth, that's all I'm thinking about. Me keeping y'all slaves and keeping y'all working, that's all that's in my mind. I don't care about this God that you speak of. Look at y'all. I can only imagine. He probably said, look at y'all. Man, look at y'all. Bruh, y'all are slaves. What are you talking about? Again, how does America view us? How does the world view us? Well, they say it. Look at y'all. Y'all only good enough. Y'all are not even good enough to get off drugs, right? We're gonna pay to keep y'all on drugs and just give you get high kits. Y'all are not good enough for clean water. So guess what? Flint, Michigan. Guess what? Memphis. Oh, it happened again. So miraculously in Georgia, just 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude. You talking about water war, right? But it's why is it always happening in black communities with black mayors and black governors? That governor or mayor of Mississippi, black man. The one in Georgia, black man. Flint, Michigan, it's all black. Right? Just think about it. Because y'all ain't good enough for clean water. You don't have a God, you don't have a land, you don't have a language, you don't have a custom. Everything y'all do is what? What America says. Or wherever land you live in. Well, as the Romans, when in Rome, right? When in Rome, wear a toga. Nah, wear a garment, right? Christ didn't win in Rome. But our people, we love to, like the scriptures say, mingle amongst the heathen and learn their works. Right? And it doesn't matter what works those are. It don't matter if it's works of murder, deceit, lying, cheating, stealing. We'll learn it and then we'll get better at it. And what do they look at? Look at y'all. Look, I can only imagine. Because that's what they say now. Look at y'all. Right? The word nigger. Right? Why do white people feel like they can use that word? Because look at y'all. Y'all call each other that. Right? When we, Black Lives Matter, well, do Black Lives really matter? Because look at y'all. You kill each other. So if they're saying it, you can only imagine what Pharaoh was saying. Look at y'all. Read on.
Verse 5. His ways are always grievous.
And this is what we got to understand about the wicked and the prideful. Their ways are always grievous. There's no smooth sailing with these type of men in this mind state, these type of women. It's never smooth. It can never be a smooth transaction. It can never be, man, hey, can you do this? Yeah, I got you. It always got to, like, well, I got to do, but some huffing, some puffing, I'll blow your house down, right? It always has to be contention. Go ahead.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
You see that in his eyesight? The eyesight of the wicked, the eyesight of the prideful is very limited. It says a wise man foresee the evil. It says where there's no vision, the people perish. You know what the sad thing about the prideful is? They can't even see their own downfall. Their eyesight is so small they can't see that their own pride is their fall. Doesn't it say pride goeth before destruction? And a haughty spirit before what? Before a fall. They can't even see their own pride as what's going to trip them up. So their vision is not only skewed, but it's limited. Right? And they're not going to be able to see the judgments of the Most High. They're not going to be able to see that when I do this action, this is the reaction that I'm going to get. See, Pharaoh wasn't on that. Just like we don't be on it when we make our decisions. We're not looking at the judgment from God. Why? Because you get in the Pharaoh mind and you say, you know what? I am the judgment. Or better yet, you say, oh, I can deal with it. I've heard sisters say, you know what? I'll let God deal with me then. Women that knew the truth. Brothers, you know what? I'm going to have to let the Most High just deal with me. E.
Right.
Terrible thing.
Bro. You must be either a dummy or a brave soul. But we know what that is. That's ignorance and pride. That's the lack of foresight. That's even the lack of hindsight. Going back and saying, wait a minute, the Most High, the last time the Most High dealt with a person, this is how it turned out. So let me not fall into those crosshairs. So their vision and understanding the judgments of the Most High and where those judgments come from and how they come. And oh yeah, I was waiting for the Most High to deal with me. You be waiting a lifetime. And he catch you when you least expect it, man. The king of terrors, I'm good. Right? I don't want to deal with the king of terrors.
Right.
We see what he did to them in Egypt during the plague of the darkness, where it wasn't even the darkness that killed them; it was their own minds that killed them. Think about that. Most High had them to the point where they were dying of literally scared to death. I don't want to deal with that. But see, where we can sit back and understand. Wait a minute. If I move this way, the Most High can move any way he wants. It ain't that the Most High is going to move this way. He's going to move contrary to us, right? But think about how many ways the Most High has at his disposal to drop his judgment. That's the scary part. You can't anticipate it, right? The boo you thought loved you, Most High got her as a tool. Right? The family you thought had your back. We can name a few, right? But man, I've seen the Most High put judgment on people in ways that you could never even orchestrate. And if they're prideful, they'll deny that power. They'll get more Pharaoh-ish, right? But if they're humble, they'll say, you know what? Let me do my David thing. I sinned, right? I messed up. Let me take the hit and move forward. Which one are we? Which one are you? David? Or you gonna lock more into the Pharaoh's pride and the Pharaoh mind? Read on.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Yeah, you see that? Like Pharaoh, he puffed that.
Damn.
Bro, who's he?
Damn.
Right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 6. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved.
You know when you get prideful, I'm gonna stand on my square, right? I'm standing on this, and you put your foot down. I ain't moving. Can you imagine? But think about it. You don't have to imagine. Just go back into your prideful. Let's go back into our prideful moments where we said, "Nah, I'm putting my foot down, and I'm not gonna be budged off this pride. I'm gonna stand on my pride power, right? I'm gonna stand on my ego. I'm gonna stand on my conceit. I'm gonna stand on my mind. This is what I'm gonna anchor myself to. My thoughts, the way I want things done." Go ahead.
For I shall never be in adversity.
See, that's the problem with pride. You like, man, I ain't never gonna fall. I'm adversity. Nah, I'm good. I could pay my way out. I could run. I could call this person, right? My homeboys got my back. Call my mama and them, my auntie, my uncle. They'll bail me out. They got me. Until they don't. Until you try that power and what? Damn, I thought they had my back. Mama! Mama! Right? You're getting a collect call from the such and such collect. Click. Here. Mama? Mom? Daddy? Uncle, right? Ain't nobody answering, bro. Why? Because the Most High, He shut off your power. He shut off the things that you thought was going to take you out of adversity when that time came. You thought that the Most High's arm was short where the adversity that He's ready to put on you and bring you through, you could avoid it. Your job is not going to make you avoid what the Most High wants you to learn. Your job, your gated community, your vehicle can go 300 miles an hour, super pursuit mode, He don't care. Right? Your family, you can hide, like you can take vacations, you can do whatever the hell you want. Guess what you can even try to do? I'm gonna block God out. I'm just gonna get high and numb myself. Ooh, and guess what? Guess what? He gonna catch you in them dreams. He gonna catch you in those high moments. Paranoia starts to set in. Now you can't go nowhere. Now you locked up in the house. Right? I'm gonna sleep it off. Nope. Got you in your dreams now, Freddy. Right? The Most High is Freddy Krueger, damn it. Don't y'all get it? There's no escaping the lesson. There's no escaping the things that the Most High wants to bring you through, especially when you say, nah, there ain't no adversity over here. I'm good. He ain't gonna do. Hey, I don't even believe in him. I don't even believe in him. But then why are you going through stuff? Even the ones that don't believe, ask them, how come you don't? Then why are you going through things? Who do you think's bringing you through that? Who do you think's walking you up to that door and telling you to open that door, and then you walk through that haunted house, that little house of terrors? It's the Most High, man. But just because you don't believe it doesn't mean that it's not real. Pharaoh learned that when he started getting boils. He didn't believe it until he started getting boils and hemorrhoids all over his body. He didn't believe it until his magicians was like, oh yeah, we can't even do that one. We can't show up for this one. We can't leave our houses. He couldn't believe it. He didn't believe it was real until the Most High started to touch him. Rivers of blood. Oh, we can do that. Look, get the magicians, have them turn the. Oh yeah, see, that's just a magic trick. Oh, flies and lice and listen, man, we can make lice come. We can do this. We can do that. We can even make our rods turn into snakes. Right? But these hemorrhoids, ooh, damn, how you get them all the way into my liver? You know when you go, what is it, the Josephus? When you go in, they said it was in their organs. If I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But that's how real it was, where it wasn't like a little pimple on me. Oh, see, the Most High is checking me. Hemorrhoids. When you looked at hemorrhoids, you know where hemorrhoids are, mostly? Anal cavity into your intestines, walls, ulcers, bleeding sores that burn and hurt, right? So that's what the Most High was hitting. It wasn't no small little thing where, oh, like they're just gonna put some Neosporin on that and it's gonna be good in a day. Hell nah. There's no ointment for this. Right? You can't put alcohol on this. You can't drink milk and coat your stomach with this one. You're gonna have to feel this. Pharaoh didn't think it was real until it got very, very detrimental. Just like sometimes, man, we don't look at the realness of what we don't look at the realness of where our mind states are, and that sometimes we're contrary to the Most High until what? He starts to make it real painful and make it real plain that, listen, I'm dealing with you. I'm dealing with you. I can deal with you or I can deal with you, right? And sometimes we be getting dealt with, and we like, nah. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna just keep turning up on you. Hey, listen, ain't that what's happening to Esau? Nah, we gonna still kill y'all, rape y'all, steal, cheat. And the Most High just keeps going up 1 degree on the thermostat. 1 degree on the thermostat. Cali is at 112 right now. Arizona, 110. Houston, 100. Right? He just keeps sucking the moisture out of the atmosphere, and the white man's like, no, I'm gonna find another way. I'm gonna do something different. The wicked is like, nah, that's not what's happening. It's global warming, our carbon footprint. No, the Most High is putting his footprint on this earth. He's crushing it, right, with the elements, with the heat, with the sun. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud.
And that's what it starts to go to now. You start cursing and swearing and this and that and fraud and fraudulent talk. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. I'll let y'all go. Deceptiveness. Listen, leave the women and children, take the men. You know what? Take everybody, leave the cattle. No, you know what? Y'all sacrifice here. All that deceptiveness, yeah, I'll let y'all go. If you talk to the Most High for me, get them off my back. But then when you get what you want, you know what? Never mind. You know what? I'm gonna chase y'all down in the chariot and kill y'all. That was the mind of Pharaoh the whole time. And when you read these scriptures and you're able to, damn, this was his character. His character was fraudulent. His character was deceit. His character was pride, hatefulness. Go ahead.
Under his tongue is mischief,
right,
and vanity.
Man, he's mischievous. He's speaking vain things. Who's your God that I should obey his voice? Go from there. Go to Job. Job 21 and 15. We always sit back. We read, like I said, we read these 10 plagues every 6 months. And, we read it. And we're like, damn, it's powerful, right? Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he got us out. But we got to see why the Most High had to go through these lengths. Why he had to do it. I mean, think about it. He said he sent frogs. And you're thinking like, oh, yeah, like I got frogs at my house. And I'm like, damn, there's a lot of frogs. Right? And I'll pull back a little stone. I got like 10 frogs just chilling, all huddled up, trying to stay hidden. Right? And poor Ivy, right? She get out the car, frogs is hopping through the grass. We hear her in the front running into the house. And I'm like, what's this? What's the problem? She's like, the frogs. And I'm like, oh, the one frog? Okay, cool. The one frog that's hopping through trying to get him a little slug or something. Man, leave that guy alone. Right? But imagine frogs that you can't even see the floor. Frog to the point where everything you stepped on was you breaking bones and something squishy. And they wasn't little small boys. They were them hefty, slimy, sticky. When they touch you, it was just ugh. What's that?
Like you move them off your bed and it's still the slime,
Bruh.
all that stuff still there.
Thank you. The slime, right? Y'all ever touch like a real slimy frog, the slimy toad frog looking? Ugh. It's disgusting because it's a thick slime, thick mucus, COVID slime. It's like COVID slime, right? So imagine now you get the frogs is there, and then the noise, the chirping and the ribbit, and the millions of frogs just driving you crazy. The slime, the frogs, you can't walk. You trying to put something in your mouth, they snatching it out your mouth with their long tongues. They just hitting things with the tongue. You ever see a frog hunt? Because they hunt. Wet tongue everywhere. And then they all die. First of all, frogs stink when they're alive. Then they die. Just imagine the smell. This was catastrophic. What did it do to the livestock, the cattle, the crops? When they just jumping all over the crops, when they jumping all over people's houses, frogs carry disease. See, there was a preliminary hit, and then there was a residual after effect of all the things that the Most High sent through. And we're just thinking like, oh yeah, he sent frogs and he killed them all and they cleared them up. No, it didn't work like that. How long were the frogs with? I think 7 days, or 2 or 3 days. But just imagine a sea of frogs for 7 days, or however many days it was. If the Most High had to go through these plagues to get Pharaoh's mind to move, just know he went to the extreme level of each plague. It was the extreme amount of frogs, the extreme sound of the frogs. Think about the darkness. That was so extreme, they tried to light a fire and the fire, it wouldn't even catch. It was so dark you were hearing things. Like, how does that make sense? It's so dark you start hearing ghosts. It was so dark. They start seeing ghosts. Think about that. So again, the Most High went to the extreme to prove his point. Why? Because Pharaoh was going to the extreme to prove his point. I ain't gonna be moved. Right? What verse you at?
Job chapter 21, verse 15.
Go ahead, read.
What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him?
And this is where our minds sometimes tends to sway. When it's time for you to really lock into the Most High and really lay your burdens on him, you trick yourself into saying what? What's the profit? What's the point? It didn't work before, but it did. See, you forgot. You didn't keep your heart diligently. You forgot the past things. You forgot the way the Most High worked for you. You forgot, wait a minute, he done brought me through all these situations, through all the adversities. Everything he laid at my door, he helped me clear away. But you find a way to trick yourself, or your ego finds a way to trick you into tricking yourself. Well, what's the profit of serving the Lord? Man, why am I doing this? What's the point? Damn, I'm waiting this again? Another Wednesday class here in Quadazab go in. Right? You're like, what's the point? What's the point? They all sound the same. You're right, they do. Because we can't change the Bible.
Right.
Right? We can't make the Bible a different book than what it is. It's a broken recorder. Yes. Yes. But in your mind, you're like, yep, you said it before I did. Dang, he sounds like a broken recorder. Sounds like a parrot. He just sounds like he's repeating himself from last class. He sounds like this. It sounds like this. Why am I here? You can't let yourself put you in that mind of what is the purpose of this? What's that?
It's almost like you trick yourself into believing that the Most High needs you more than you need him.
That's a level of, what we call that, delusions of ganja. Delusions of grandeur, right? But you got to be high as hell to be thinking that the Most High needs you. You got to be high. You got to be like, boy, what you smoking, right? Because the Most High don't need us. That's the point. He doesn't need you. You're free though. We're all free to go make our decision. You can go, listen, go be with them over there, or go be with them over there, right? You don't have to subject yourself to the daily back and forth, the daily chastening, the daily iron and sharpening iron. Nobody has to do that. That's a choice. That's a choice that each individual has to come to grips in themselves and say, you know what? I got to put myself in these fetters. I got to make myself a prisoner to this wisdom so I can better me, so I can be more of an example for my family, so I can propel myself to greatness, right? We can't make you do it. And then thinking that, oh yeah, see, I'm here because the Most High needs me. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You lost. You already lost. You might as well pack it up, burn it, burn all the notes, burn all the fringes, head wraps, right? Everything. And just go live life. Be happy. Go be happy. That's my thing. Listen, go be happy, right? Go live your dream. Go live. What do they say now? She's just living her truth.
Yeah.
Go live your truth, man. Because this truth ain't it. If that's the mind state, right? If that's your mind, the Most High needs me, this ain't it. Or I could be doing better things. I was, I was the man in high school, but now y'all got me here doing the mall and trucks and Well, go be the man. Right? Read on.
Verse 16. Lo, their good is not in their head.
Right?
The counsel of the wicked is far from me.
Go ahead.
How oft is the candle of the wicked put out?
How often do you see wicked men and wicked women that are in that mind of God who? How often? First of all, how long do they last? Not that long. Right? It says how often are they put out? Often. More often than you see. More often than you should see, because you shouldn't be worried about them being put out. But how do I keep my candle lit? How do I keep my flame going? How do I got enough oil in my burner? Right? Do I got enough oil in my lamp to keep my flame going? Or am I worried about how much the wicked is about to be put out? Read on.
And how oft cometh their destruction upon them?
Go ahead.
God distributeth sorrows and his anger.
You see, he's going to distribute those sorrows to the wicked, man. To men like Pharaoh. To the prideful. He's going to distribute sorrow and anger. His vengeance. Go ahead.
They are as stubble before the wind.
And you can see it because they're tossed to and fro. No stability in those type of people. There's no stability in a prideful mind. The only stability they have is to be prideful. That's it. That's all they got. That's the only thing they're stable in is their pride. But everything else, they're blown around. They're only stable in not being able to see why they're blown around and tossed. That's their only constant. Read on.
And as chaff that storm carried away.
Read on.
God laid up his iniquity for his children.
Read on. For his what?
God laid up his iniquity for his children.
See, and what happens is now that butt whooping gets handed down. Because pride breeds pride. Anger breeds anger. Right? Well, my daddy was prideful, so he's still going. Let me adopt that mind state. But he said he lay up his iniquity for his children. Why? Because his children are going to follow his footsteps. Not that he's saying, you know what, well, your daddy was this way, so now I'm going to put the punishment on the children. No. You think that Pharaoh's children weren't going to be raised the way he was? To think that they were God? Pharaoh's son? He was being raised and groomed to think what? When I sit on that throne, I'm God. I'm the king of the world. I'm the God of the realms.
That's a believable concept and idea because Dwayne Wade is raising his son to be a girl. So
Right.
like how much power, thought, energy, spirit they're putting into this
idea, right?
This idea to this kid. So
Yeah.
what you're saying on Pharaoh and his teachings and how he grew up and everything like that.
Train up a child. But how are you training them? There's teaching by example and teaching. Right? But we see the example of, just think about it. You think Donald Trump's children ain't like him? They're just like him. You think Joe Biden's children ain't like him? But they're just like him. They're even worse. Wasn't Billy Biden, what's his name? What's his name? Biden on crack? Hunter on crack?
Still on crack.
Still on crack, lying, cheating, stealing. That's what Daddy Biden is doing, lying and cheating and stealing the American people, right? While he sends all your money over there to Ukraine, like, let me get another 70 something billion for Ukraine, bro. Your gas, your inflation, your heat, your this, your that, your water.
Oh,
All them billions, bro, they could go put a damn pump in Mississippi and get them some clean water.
that's true.
All them billions. It takes 1 billion, they said, to do that. But guess what? They got 13 billion again just 2 days ago. 13 billion going over to Ukraine. For what? And from where? But we can't get clean water?
You know, by the way, the gas is just low because there's midterm elections coming.
That's exactly why.
And
It's midterms, yeah.
It's midterm elections, and that's why like a lot of things seem lower. That's why like they were.
Nope.
Remember, he was talking about he wasn't going to cancel like the school debt and all that.
Nope.
He said he wasn't going to do it,
But then he did it.
but then they ended up doing it because they were looking. The Democrats were looking
Looking
bad.
real garbo.
So
Yeah, they're going to lose a lot of seats.
and the only reason why the gas price is low is because their emergency reserves that they have in case of a war and in case of a hurricane, that's what they've been using, and it's only halfway full now.
And they've been robbing Syria every day for gas. They didn't tell you about that part.
Yeah.
How they went into Syria. They've been stealing 60 million barrels of gas a day. They put in military bases in Syria. They didn't tell you that part. They're like, oh, we dip it into our reserves in Syria, right?
Right.
Not reserve.
Right.
America is a hoot, bro. You gotta be careful with this country. But think about it. America has been the same country it's been since its inception. Since its forefathers, now its sons have carried on what? The deception, the lies, the cheat, the stealing, the pride. In God we trust, but if you better not pray up in here, because we're going to ostracize you. Right? We trust God, but not enough to pray to him. Right? We trust him to put him on the money, but you better not speak a name of God ever. Don't you ever notice that when people like celebrities are like, I just want to give the glory to God, and it's like, roll the commercial. Bro, like they start giving glory to God, like, no. Next celebrity, next person, next this. Well, a lot of these people are on that wave, like God this, God that, and it's like, enough of that. Let's talk about your accomplishments, or let's get emotional, or let's get there. They want to exit God out the way, because why? What is the Almighty that we should serve him? Who is God? Right? Pharaoh mind state. Go ahead, read on.
He rewarded him, and he shall know it.
That's wild. You ain't gonna know it till you see your children. You see them catching hell, and you're like, damn, I should have did better. That was my fault. I taught him how to be like that. Now the Most High is judging. Think about it. When did Pharaoh finally get it?
He lost his firstborn.
Woo!
Yeah.
When that son, and I know I'm jumping into a few different plagues here, right? And just lightly touching, but Pharaoh finally gave up when he saw his son dead. When he said, "Oh wow, okay, this was real." When his son was rewarded for his pride, okay, y'all can go now. You actually hurry the hell up and leave. Take whatever you want, all of it, go. They basically kicked us out the country. Read on.
Verse 20. His eyes shall see his destruction.
Pharaoh was front row. He got the what's the one little toy that you put the viewfinder. Remember the viewfinder? It's like the binoculars, and you put the little round disc in. Y'all are too young.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, the viewfinder. He gave him the viewfinder of his destruction right in his face. Like it's like 3D glasses. Remember the viewfinder? They were red. Next slide. Those were dope. Oh, how they did. Right, go ahead.
And he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty.
Or you're going to just drink blood, rivers of blood. Or you're going to drink flies. Or try to swallow down that hemorrhoid in your throat. Or those locusts. Right? But you ain't going to eat this good food. You ain't going to eat this righteousness. You're going to drink this wrath. And that's what happens to the proud. That's what happens to the egotistical, the narcissist, right? That's another word, the narcissism. Those people that ride on those characteristics, right? They tend to always be going through something. And guess what? What's the worst part about it? Huh? They're always right, but it's never their fault. Because that's the whole contingency. Yeah, I know I'm catching hell, but, you know, I didn't do nothing. And then the brothers that know the Bible, the brothers that be in the truth, what they blame it on? Who are they? Huh? Huh? Yeah, all of a sudden there's like 1,000 Jobs. All of a sudden, like, I don't know what is going on. I'm Job. So wait a minute. So how many examples of Job do we need? How many times does the Most High got to prove the devil wrong? Especially when the devil is right. I'm gonna listen. All I'm gonna do is just take this woman and watch him fold. Most High already knows it. He's like, yeah, you're right. You probably will. Watch, I'm gonna give him a flat tire and he gonna lose it. Flat tire can't give up the whole Bible. Flat tire? That's something, you know what I said that? That's something real small. Cats will lose it over a flat. Watch me not let him be able to buy them shoes and see what happens. He gonna bethink his whole life in the truth. See, because y'all stopping me from living my best life. See. Nah, bro. You're not Job. You're not Job. We're not going through Job affliction, right? Now, are there going to be tests and trials and tribulation? Yeah, there's definitely going to be tests, trials, and tribulations, but this is the problem. Your trial and tribulation is no longer based off of how Satan wants to move with you. It's how much you want to dance with Satan. It's how much you want to be tempted. Satan don't got to go to the Most High and say, let me test him. Right? We did that already. We got Job as the example. So now it's, wait a minute. How much do I want to dance with the devil? How much do I want to invest in devilish things to see how far I can go? It's the reverse. Now it's about your temptation, not what Satan wants to do. He's already on the job. He's already out here. Satan is already loose, right? Doing his thing. All you got to do is just turn on channel 13, and Satan is out there kidnapping people, and that spirit, right? That murderous, adulterous, right? It's all over TikTok. It's all over social media. My favorite thing now is when the dudes pull up and does a loyalty test, and he's like, how long y'all been together? And she'll be like, 6 months. He's like, 4 years. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay, strike one. So y'all, right? She thinks they've been together for this amount of time, but he thinks this amount of time. So they're off there. And it's like, so is she loyal? Like, yeah, she's loyal. What makes you think she's loyal? I don't know. She just says, oh, okay. You think he's being loyal? Yeah, I think he's being loyal. Right? Okay, let's switch phones. And then they switch phones, right? And dude is cold with it because he'd be like, go to Snapchat. Why? Why didn't they go to Snapchat? I'm about to give y'all some inside scoops for all you cheaters out there. Why did they go to Snap? Y'all youngsters know what happens with the messages on Snap. What happens with the messages on Snap? Stop. What happens with the messages on Snap? No, but what happens to the messages after you view them? Oh, he don't punish me. They disappear, right? They disappear, so you think. But all you gotta do is a quick little scroll down, and they'll.
Oh, that's a new feature.
That ain't that new. That ain't new. If you don't have your settings right, you can go to any conversation, and all you gotta do is pull down, and you'll be like, wait a minute, she been linking up with the sneaky link. Yeah, he'll be like, look, go to, so who's such and such? Who's that? But some of them don't even be smart to delete the messages, right? But the point is, Satan is running around in the form of adultery, right? But didn't he say in the last days, lovers of themselves, traitors, truce breakers, unruly appearance, disrespectful, right? All these different characteristics that only Satan himself could embody. But he has to disperse them. He has to disperse them into different people at different times to make one, one hateful world, right? Where we at? Read on.
Job chapter 21.
That's it on that. What time did we start? Okay. Yeah. Right. So we understand the mind of the wicked, the mind of Pharaoh. So, and we understand the mind of the Most High in this situation that I got to save my people. I got to save my heritage. I got to bring them home, right? Now, put yourself in the situation of you got a child and they're in danger. What you gonna do to get them out of danger? Then you can see them calling for you and begging you to help. Man, you women would run through walls, right? There was one woman, her kid got hit by a car. She didn't lift the car up off him. She got superhuman strength, right? Did y'all see the one? It happened yesterday or day before. The dude was peeping through the girl's window, and this little white woman attacked. Like she literally football tackled this guy. He tried to run away, and she was like, "Boo!" Hit him like a linebacker. I'm like, dang, women will do anything for their children when they're in danger, right? But it's just like how the Most High would do anything for us when we're in danger. So you can write for this next point, the show of power. See, pride is a spirit, right? Pride is a spirit, but the Most High controls all spirits. He controls anything. He controls anything that we think is spiritual. And he has the ability to shut pride down, again, in ways that we couldn't imagine. But for us, he makes it plain, right? He just hits you where it hurts, right? You got to make it understandable. He has to make it to where you can apply the things that you're seeing and the things that you're going through. Now I can sit back and apply the lesson. But there's so many things that are happening in the background just to bring forth your little whack lesson. Right? Just think about it. The Most High was conjuring up the elements on these guys. Conjuring up animals. Come on, we didn't even talk about the Passover. Where he unleashed Christ. Bruh. I don't think y'all get it. That's so cold. Who was here when we read Wisdom of Solomon on Saturday? Yeah, y'all need to go back and read Wisdom of Solomon. What was that, 18? When you get a chance, go back and read Wisdom of Solomon, the 18th chapter. That goes over the actual Passover. How it was nice and quiet that night. And everybody was tucked in under their little sheets and their little twin beds, chilling, thinking about their good night's sleep. And then what? Christ, go get him. He sent Christ out. And what did it say? That before they even died, he gave them dreams of them dying. Think about that. You catching nightmares about how you about to die, then you die. You wake up in the fourth. You wake up in the third spirit, right? That was a heavy, heavy plague to have to send Yahweh Shai himself to run through this land. But again, the show of power had to be great. And again, this is an intro to the classes I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to go through each class. I'm gonna try to go. It's 10 plagues. I'm gonna try to go through at least 2 plagues. It's not a lot of info, but I do have some books that we're gonna be hitting. Right? I got one book. It's called the complete guide. What is it called? And these books weren't super expensive, but they're actually good books. One is called. Let me get it real quick. Let's see. Oh, it's actually right here. It's one is called The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt. That's one. And then the other one that I was going through, just to, you got to have your sources, and you want your sources to, we always say 2 or 3 sources. The other one is called Egyptian mythology. And all it does is it goes into the god, and it tells you how the god was worshipped, what symbolism, what the god was in the beginning, and what was it a man or a woman, or was it a transvestite? Some gods had female parts with male parts and a cow's head. That's what they were on. And how did they worship the god? And it'll tell you, this god was the god of the Nile. This god was the god of the land. This god was the god of healing, right? Like, I'll give you one. Isis. She was the god of healing. And it tells you why they adopted this mind state towards this god. Now, if you know anything about Isis, Isis is probably the most known Egyptian goddess, right? Rappers rap about Isis. She went all the way from that, what was it, like the 15th century, I might say, all the way to now, about Isis. She was even adopted by the Romans and the Greeks. Yeah, she stood the test of time, Isis, right? And why do you know about Isis? Well, they go into her husband, they go into her son, they go into the fight, the battle, her putting her husband's body back together. After he was cut into a bunch of pieces, she healed him. We're going to go through all of it, right? We're going to go through all of it. So, but let's finish this up. Let's finish this point, this show of power. So go to Psalms 96 and verse 2. And this is what we don't want to feel. We don't want to feel you know what? Hold that. Something just hit me. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 1, where it says forward. There it says that the power rebukes. You know what I want?
Power when it's tried.
When it's tried, yeah. Wisdom of Solomon, what is that?
1 and 3.
Read it.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 3.
Right?
For forward thoughts
separate
from God.
And this is what we got to understand, man. The forward thoughts, I'm against. This is what separates us from the Most High. This is what separates us and puts us in adversity. This is what puts us in enmity with the Most High. The forward thoughts. Oh, I ain't doing that. Oh, I don't care what he says. I don't care what she says. Why me? Why I gotta? Like those forward thoughts. It says it does what?
Separate from the Most High.
Right. You separate from the posterity of goodness. You separate from the favor. Remember it said good understanding giveth favor? You separate from the favor. Go ahead.
And his power when it is tried.
His power when it is what?
Tried.
When he's tested. Let me try that. You know what? I'll let the Most High check me. You know what? I'll just have to let's see what the Most High says then. See what he does. Really? You want to try that? You better off sticking your finger in the electric socket with a fork strapped to your hand. Go get the knife, wrap it around your finger, and stick it in the electric socket. You're better off with that than trying the power of the Most High. Come on, y'all seen old girl that they try to assassinate the woman prime minister? Argentina, she was coming in out the car. The dude put the gun right to her face. They said the gun jammed. He clicked it. You better off playing Russian roulette with an assassination than trying the power of the Most High. Go ahead.
Reproveth the unwise.
No, it don't work.
Reproveth the unwise.
Sometimes the Most High's power shuts off.
His power when it is tried reproveth the unwise.
Yeah, man. There ain't no maybe this might happen. That's a guarantee. It just don't happen on your time when you think. But it's going to reprove the unwise. Go ahead.
For into a malicious...
No, that's it on that. So now go back to Psalms.
God.
Glad that hit me. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead. Psalms 96 and verse 2.
96 verse 2. Sing unto the Lord.
Right.
Bless his name.
Right.
Show forth his salvation from day to day.
Go ahead.
declare his glory among the heathen.
See, and this is what he wants us to do. But this is what he'll do if you don't do it. Read on.
His wonders among all people.
Did he not declare his glory amongst Egypt? The glory of the Lord was on Egypt, not in a good way. The Red Sea parting and closing on them was not a good thing. His glory was all through Egypt. The glory of letting us walk on dry land and drowning the Egyptians. That's the Most High's glory. The glory of hail mixed with fire. The glory of the first of all the cattle dying. The glory of locusts. All those things glorify him. Remember what it says? It says there be spirits created for vengeance and they won't stop until they appease him. All these things he created was for his vengeance. Those locusts didn't stop because they was hungry. They weren't full enough. That hail didn't stop because there wasn't no more water in the atmosphere. Oh, there was plenty of water and fire in the atmosphere. Go ahead.
For the Lord is great.
Right.
And greatly to be praised.
Read on.
He is to be feared above all gods.
And this is what we always got to remember. There's always going to be some God. Right? There's always going to be something to be worshipped. Well, the wicked is always going to create something for you to worship. You're always going to put, oh, this is National Taco Day. Go worship tacos. This is National Cinema Day. Everybody show up to the movies. This is Donut Day. This is Pizza Day. This is and they put you in this mind that, oh, I got to look forward to this day now. And let me mark my calendar. You know what? It's National Pizza Day, November the 9th. Right? Who gave us that? Instagram. Or was it Snapchat that gave us these days? It was Snapchat. They start creating these days like, oh, today is ice cream day. Today's this day. Today's that day. You start looking forward to those days. Just like you look forward to Christmas, New Year's, Easter, this, that, and the third, right? But what are you looking forward for Passover? They got you looking forward to Tabernacles? Surely they're like, oh, we can't wait for Day of Atonement. Everybody running from that, right? Everybody running from the dry fast. But the point is they put you in this mind to worship what they create and not worship the Creator. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idle.
And this is what we got to understand off the top. It's all idle. It's all vain. Idol worship. Made to be destroyed. Right? What did he say about idols? They created with man's hands. They can't breathe. They can't eat. They can't talk. So why would you give credit or life to something that needs you to create it? Doesn't make sense, right? All the gods of the nations are idols. Go ahead.
But the Most High made the heavens.
But what?
But the Most High made the heavens.
Why does he got to remind us of that? Because you'll put the God of the air, the God of the land, the God of the sea, the God of the Nile, the God of this, the God of that. Remember, Egypt had over 1,500 gods that they worshipped on a day-to-day basis. They had a God for everything. But he got to remind us that, wait a minute, I created the heavens and the earth. I created you. Go from there, go to Isaiah 44 and 8. Isaiah 44 and verse 8 through 11.
Isaiah chapter 44, verse 8.
Right?
Fear ye not, neither be afraid.
Go ahead.
Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it?
Right? See, everything the Most High tells us, he declares it. He declares it through his word. Right now, he got to declare things through his word. Right? Through that Holy Spirit and through that fire is when things are declared to us. But in the time of Moses, he declared himself burning bush. In the time of the apostles, he gave them Yahweh Shai. Right? In the time of all the prophets, he gave them signs and wonders to declare his word. Now the only thing that you can get declared is what? You hardly see the blessing, but that ass whooping, whoo! It's hot. It's hot. Hot. And you're like, damn, the Most High is real. Why did I do that? Oh my gosh. Right? It's declared to you, but He's declaring things to us day by day, daily. Look at the world. I always say it. Look at the world. Stop being the punching bag and just let the world be the punching bag. Why do we got to be the punching bag? Why do we got to step and take those hits when the world is already taking those hits for us to be able to see? Don't y'all get it? The example's already there. You don't have to be the example. Read on.
Ye are even my witnesses.
Go ahead.
Is there a God beside me?
Is there? Well, the Egyptians thought so, because I don't know your God. I don't know that one God. What is he? The God of of the bums? What is he? The God of slaves? The God of right? Is there any God besides me? Go ahead.
Yea, there is no God.
Read on.
I know not any.
Most High don't know none. You don't even recognize them. When you read in the Old Testament, he said don't even call the other gods names. Y'all remember that? He said don't even call their names. They're not even worthy to have names. Don't seek out how to worship them. Don't ask and inquire, because they're not even real. Go ahead.
Verse 9. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity.
Go ahead.
And their delectable things shall not profit.
Right, and nothing that they do is going to profit. The things they put their mind to. He said they're vanity. Go ahead.
And they are their own witnesses.
Right.
They see not.
He said it. They're their own witnesses, right? Remember when, who was it? Was it Elijah? That had all those men call on their gods, and they was beating their chests, and they made the altar, and they was calling their God for hours, right? Half the damn day. Call your God. Let them get that burnt sacrifice. Yeah. And they calling, running out of breath. And what does he go do? He dig a trench, douses the altar in water, right? Sends up one prayer, and it said the earth was consumed. The whole sacrifice and all the water gone. That was their witness that their God is fake. And that the only God that is real is the Most High. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
It was also like, cry louder.
He was like, yeah. Like, that's all y'all got? Oh, remember he said it? Oh, maybe he's asleep. He was clouded. He said, oh, maybe he's resting. Maybe he slumbers. But have you not heard? Have you not seen? Is the Most High's arm short that he can't save? He don't get weary. He don't take a break. Ain't no sleep. Right? Not my Jesus. Right? Not your Jesus might need an orange peel or get him an orange slice. He's tired. You know, you out there playing sports, they got the cooler of orange slices, get him an orange slice. He needs some electrolytes. My Jesus is the electrolytes. He is the power, right? Have you not heard? Go ahead, read on.
They see not, nor know.
And the sad part is they don't even see that. They don't even see the witness against them. The wicked ain't even seeing that. Wait a minute. I always talk about them. Like what you ask them, like, so what's those stones for? Because when I rub them together, it gives me a force field of energy that protects me from evil. Really? Do it right now. He's like, do it right now. Rub them together right now, and let me throw something at you. But it's like, wait a minute. You don't even see that that's foolishness? You rub two stones together and all of a sudden you Batman? Or you the Invisible Man? Which one? It just, don't that sound foolish to you? But it don't sound foolish to them. And the sad part is they've never been protected when they rub those stones together. Not by whatever God they think is protecting them. Go ahead, read on.
That they may be ashamed.
And that's the issue with pride, right? When you're prideful, there is no shame. There is no shame in there ain't no shame in my game, right? Because that pride is pushing you past being able to think or look at yourself the right way. So you're not even going to see that your mind state and the things that you're trying to get done and, you know, the things you're putting on a pedestal aren't working. Go ahead.
Who have formed a God, or molten a graven image that's profitable for nothing.
Right? Well, the Egyptians did it. America does it. We do it. We do it, man. We mold a God in our own heads. When you start hearing your own voice, and then you start seeing a projection of your own picture, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this done because I'm a team of me, right? I got this. You start to create that imagery in your head of you being the power and not giving that credit to the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen, they are of men.
They are of what?
Men.
Read.
Let them all be gathered together.
Right.
Let them stand up.
Right.
Yet they shall fear.
Look at the magicians. When we go into it, you're going to see the magicians. It said they couldn't even stand before Pharaoh because they was getting hit with plagues. When the darkness hit, it said they couldn't even leave because they were fearful. They were so scared they couldn't even rise up for their job. Go ahead.
And they shall be ashamed together.
Go to Exodus 18 and verse 11. Somebody else get... wait, come on. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Exodus 18:11.
Yeah, let me look at this real quick because I made some changes. That's not updated on the tab. Where did we just come off of? Don't go to Exodus. Don't go to Exodus. Go to Psalms 110 and 5. Psalms 110 and verse 5. Salaki.
Psalm chapter 110, verse 5.
Right?
The Lord in thy right hand
Right?
shall strike through kings.
He shall do what?
Strike through kings.
Yeah, see, the Most High don't care what level you're on. He said he's going to do what?
Shall strike through
You
kings.
could be Pharaoh, you could be King Supreme, you could be King Tut, you could be damn Shaka Khan, it don't matter. He's going to strike through you when he's ready. Your title. He's not a, what is it? Respecter of persons. Remember, he gave you that kingship. He gave that leadership. Look at how many kings the Most High. He said, what did he say about Cyrus? King Cyrus. He said, King Cyrus is my anointed. What did he tell about Nebuchadnezzar? He said, listen, Israel, y'all going to serve Nebuchadnezzar. Y'all going to pay tribute to him, a Babylonian king. Right? He said, I promote. I give the promotion. And I can bring you right down. Go ahead.
Strike through kings.
Right?
In the day of his wrath.
Read on.
He shall judge among the heathen.
And it doesn't matter. People, the Most High don't deal with the heathen. Yeah, he does. Oh, because he'll send a plague. He sent a plague through Egypt. 10 of them. Right? So he does deal with the nations on our behalf. Go ahead.
He shall fill the places with the dead bodies.
And if you thought like, oh yes, he's just Egypt, listen, all these lands are going to be filled with dead bodies when Yahweh Shai comes back in the final plague of this earth, right? All these lands are going to be filled with heaps of bodies that ain't going to be buried. Go ahead.
He shall wound the heads over many countries.
Right. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 11.
God. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation.
Read on.
Because in the creature of the Most High.
So think about this. If they're vain, why would the Most High have to do a visitation on them? Because who is he visiting? When it says a visitation, I'm going to go check for this God real quick. Go see what he's about. When you look at the 10 plagues, when the Most High when he did the first plague of the Nile and turned the Nile into blood, what was he doing? What was he trying to show the Egyptians? Because they had a god of the Nile. That was their god. It was the god of the Nile was Happy. Hapi. We'll go over that when we go through the class. But Happy. He was the God of the Nile. What does water represent?
It represents wisdom.
And what else? And life. So he was a God that brought life. What was the Most High doing when he turned that water into blood? Two things. What was he looking for? Or let me restate that, because the Most High knew better. But what was he trying to show the people not to look for? Excuse me. What was he trying to show the people not to look for? The God of the Nile, right? You control the Nile. Happy, right? So the Most High turns the water into blood. Boom. Where's Happy? You get it? Happy never came. Because for 7 days they was digging wells. To the point where even this turned into blood. Y'all know that, right? Every vessel that had water, if it was filled already, turned into blood. So where's Happy? He was trying to show the people that you can't trust in something that's not real. And if they are real, then have them turn the water back and make it drinkable. Or guess what? You just die of thirst for 7 days. And that's what they did. The Most High was showing us and the Egyptians, you can't trust in vain things. And if you want to, I'm going to visit you on that premise of it being real. So he called a bluff, man. He pulled a card. He pulled the Egyptian's card. Happy? So he's the guy. Right? Is Happy a guy? I don't even remember. Happy might be a man, woman. I think Happy was a transvestite with like a dog's head. Right? But so Happy is your guy. You put all your chips on Happy. All right, well, let's see. Let's see what's up. Right? The visitation was, I'm going to do one thing. Let's see if y'all can do something else. Let's see if you can reverse or combat or withstand what I can do, my power. Remember, forward thoughts. When his power is tried, he reproved the unwise. That was the first reproof. Drink blood. Right? Who had their hand up? Mm-hmm.
It's a quick precept on what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Baruch chapter 6, verse 12.
Okay.
Talking about idolatry, right?
Right.
It said, yet, cannot these gods save themselves?
That's Baruch what?
Baruch chapter 6, verse
Still
12.
my scriptures out. No, I'm playing. Baruch 4 and 12? Baruch 6 and 12. Watch.
It starts with
That's all I'm about to say. Read up. Read up.
Baruch chapter 6, verse 11. Yea, they will give thereof to the common harlots, and deck them as man with garments, being gods of silver, and gods of gold, and wood. Yet cannot.
But see, this is the thing, though. The Most High is going to visit you. He's going to make visitation upon your God. So guess what? Oh, well, money is going to save me. Well, let's see.
Yet.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Oh, no, my car is going to save me. Oh, well, let's see. My woman is going to save me. My man, like, what he does is, he says, okay, let's see. And then the Most High makes a move. Right? Most High is playing chess. And he moves. But his move is always, checkmate. Checkmate. It ain't mate. It's checkmate. And you're like, oh, damn, so no matter what I do, he got my queen? Pretty much. He checkmates you from across the board in one move. And you're like, wow. Okay, and then you're like, well, see, F that. And you toss the whole game. Pride, right? You don't concede. You pull a Donald Trump and like, nah, see, this game's rigged.
Right.
They rigged that. See, it was stolen. The Most High rigged the game. The Most High is the game. There's a way to play it, but you got to play by the Most High's rules. So the Most High's moves are always one of, I'm going to box you into this corner for you to sit back and think. Not how to get out the corner, but think about why I put you in the corner. Our mind is what? Nah, there gotta be a way out of this. The wrong way. So either I'm gonna throw the board over and act like I ain't playing the game no more, or I'm gonna slide a hand and try to move a piece. Checkmate back, Lord. Wait, what? Okay. Right? And the Most High got to go to the higher levels of extremities. Right? To show you, wait a minute, there's no wiggling out of what you have to learn. And that's one thing we all have to learn. Even myself. You can't wiggle your way out of what the Most High wants you to learn, to understand, and what to see. If he wants you to see it, then he's going to put you up close. Like he said you'll see your destruction. Right? You'll see it and you'll know it. But it doesn't always have to be a destruction. You'll see your lesson. Right? If the pride is not high and you got some humility and you're willing to hear and listen and see and watch, then he'll teach you. My son, if thou wilt be taught. If you bow your ear, right, and give ear to understanding, you'll get what it is the Most High is trying to show. That's in Ecclesiastes, the 6th chapter and the 18th verse down. Write that down, right? But if your pride is the catapult, the catalyst, if pride is your defense, then guess what? You won't receive, you won't let go, you won't learn, you won't be able to teach. You just pride. Like just pride. That's it. Where we at?
Verse 12.
Go ahead.
Yet cannot these gods save themselves?
Right. These guys can't even save themselves. If Happy was thirsty, he would have died of damn thirst that day. If Happy was there, he would have been drinking blood. Because Happy can't do nothing. He has zero power. He's vain. It's literally something that was conjured up by man. That's what the scriptures say. Right? But the Most High is like, well, you know what? I'm going to visit that premise. I'm going to visit that God to see what he's about. Right? I'm going to see what's going on with him. Because y'all putting all this credit on his name. Let's go see what he's about. It's no different. Oh, you about your money? Well, then guess what? Now you got to live by that money. But what happens when you go broke? Oh, you about the sword, the gun? Live by the sword, die by the gun. Live by money, die by money. If it's all about your car, you're gonna live and die by that car. If it's about your woman, you're gonna live and die about that woman, that house, that job. If it's about a mind state, you're gonna live and die behind a mind state. Don't you get it? The Most High really ain't gotta do nothing but make things happen, and then now you have to make adjustments according to what you're attached to. But there's only so many adjustments you can make. That car can only go so fast. It only got so many seatbelts and airbags, right? That woman could only put up with so much. The house can only protect you for so long. The money only lasts so long till you got to pay the piper, right? The things that we trust in and say that, oh no, these things are going to protect me. They only go so far. I'm going to quote it again. Have you not heard? Have you not seen? Is the Lord's arm short that he can't deliver? It's one of my favorite scriptures in Isaiah, right? Go ahead, read on.
From rust and moths, though they be covered with purple raiment.
Right, jump back.
Wisdom of Solomon.
Good scripture.
Chapter 14, verse 11.
Right?
Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation.
Yeah, so if he's going to visit the idols of the Gentiles, what about the idols of Israel? What about your idols? You think he ain't going to visit the things you prop up in your mind as a God or as a Savior? Most High is going to try you and say, you know what? Let that thing save you. Let grandmama and them do it. You trust in them so much. Go ahead.
Because in the creature of the Most High,
Right?
they are become an abomination
Go ahead.
and stumbling blocks to the souls of men.
It's the very thing you fall over. It's the very thing you propped up in your head. You tripped over the own pedestal that you created. Read on.
And a snare to the feet of the unwise.
Go ahead.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
Let's not get it twisted, man. Let's not get it twisted that the Most High controls all the people. And the Most High, just like when you read about the Sodomites, and it said that the Most High basically blessed them to the point, allowed them to be blessed to the point where they got to turn into a great nation. 5 cities, 5 kingdoms. Only the Most High could allow that to happen. Only could the Most High allow Egypt to get to where they were. So high as a stature in this great civilization, right?
Okay.
Only the Most High could allow Rome to get to where they went, and Greek and the Assyrians and the Persians and Medes. And guess what? Good old America. You think the Most High in allowing this whack country to just bubble over? He said, yeah, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let y'all get to the height. Just like every wicked kingdom. Unless you get to the height of your foolishness. And guess what? You're going to topple yourself. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. The Most High didn't come down and all of a sudden start moving things around and all of a sudden all the kingdoms fell. No, the Most High actually did this. He fell all the way back. His fallback game was real. He fell back and let them just, oh, see, look. The kingdom divided against itself is going to fall. Right? Simple as that. Oh, you don't agree? Guess what? You're going to fall. No communication? You're going to fall. Wickedness? You're going to fall. Whoredom? Whoremongering? Oh, you're going to fall. I'm going to step back out the equation and not even be here because you don't want me here. America don't want the Most High here. Right? Remember it said he's not in their thoughts. He's not in the wicked's thoughts. So good. I'm not in your thoughts. Easier for me. Easier for me to let you kill yourselves and not be to blame. Then when they start killing each other and this and that, God, why? Because you didn't want me? Right, go ahead.
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
The what?
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
So think about it. It wasn't that it was just the invention of, or the corruption of the Israelite life. Idol worship was the corruption of all men. Don't y'all get it? It was the corruption of the world, Craig. Right? It wasn't just Israel was corrupt. No. Israel, Egypt, Assyria, everybody that idol worship was now corrupted. Because they all left off their power. Y'all get that? Remember, the Most High created the whole world and all the men in it, all the nations in it. The one thing he did know was that, wait a minute, they're going to be the ones to serve me. I want my name on them. And in them serving me, they're going to get everybody else in line to serve me. Because that's literally what the kingdom's going to be about. Us in line, the law shall go forth from Zion, the whole earth in check. As it should have been in the beginning. Adam with the dominion. What dominion? Not just over the cats and the fish and the birdies and the little froggies. No, dominion over all people and all man through the law. So the point is the Most High wanted everything to be a subject to him. But the devising it, read that again.
Verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
Go ahead.
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
Right, read.
For neither were they from the beginning.
Neither were they from the beginning. Adam, Eve. Most High didn't create them and say, hey, here's these idols to worship. He said, no, worship me. I'll give you everything you need. Food, this, that, shelter, clothing. Just follow me.
Right.
Follow my ways. Follow my laws. Go ahead.
Neither shall they be forever.
And that's the part that I think we forget sometimes. Like, you're going to be able to ride on the coattails of your idol forever. No, the Most High is going to visit. Let me go visit this idol. Let me see how much he can save. Go ahead.
Verse 14. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
Job 21 and 30.
Job,
Job 21 and 30.
chapter 21, verse 30.
And somebody else get me Wisdom of Solomon 13
Fine.
and 10.
Job chapter 21, verse 30.
Read.
That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction.
Go ahead.
They shall be brought forth to the day of
He
wrath.
said they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. He let Pharaoh go all the way through them plagues and all the way to that Red Sea. And all those people with him. Just like he'll do to us and bring us through all the adversities and calamities. If we don't have our mind right towards who is the power, what God we should be serving, what we should be worshiping. Go ahead.
Verse 31. Who shall declare his way to his face?
He shall what?
Who shall declare his way to his face?
Go ahead.
And who shall repay him what he hath done?
Right. Well, the Most High. The Most High is going to repay and declare his way to the face of the wicked, to the face of the prideful. So, don't think like, oh, they're getting away with something. Right? Remember David? He almost slipped looking at the prosperity of the wicked. Most High say he's going to get up in their face. He's going to show them right to their face. Somebody give me... I quoted it. Go to Jeremiah 2 and 28. I quoted it. And this is the Most High, man. You know, you got to read these stories. But this is the Most High showing his power, and he did it in many ways and in many times. Read it.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 28.
Right?
But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee?
Read.
Let them arise.
Let them what?
Let them arise.
Yeah, Happy, where you at? Yeah, Katet, where you at? Yeah, Isis, where you at? Yeah, King Tut. Yeah, Nut. Yeah, Ra. Yeah, Seti. Right? Where y'all at? Sun God, Earth God, this God, that God. Let them arise. Go ahead.
If they can save thee in the time of thy trouble.
If. It's real iffy. It's real iffy over here. It's real iffy. It was real iffy in Egypt. Like, let them come up if they can do it. Like, the Most High even said, look, if they can do it, let them save you, right? I'm going to do this, but if they can, shoot your shot. Right? Most High is fair. He's just. He's equitable. Shoot your shot. And let's see what... There was no shot taken. Go ahead.
For according to the number of thy cities are thy...
And this is the hit on our people. Think about every city in the 50 states of America. Just think about it. You got major cities, you got small cities. But think about all the cities that we occupy, man. He said what?
He said, for according to the number of thy cities
Right?
are thy gods.
Yeah, man. We got a God. Listen, I rep my city. That's a God. My Houston, I rep my city. Slow, loud, and banging if I'm in Houston. I rep my city. I'm in the north, New York. I rep my city. I'm from Cali. I'll kill you behind that. Right? LA, right? All the nonsense. All the nonsense that people you rep a whole city that don't even give a damn about you because they got dirty water coming through your faucet. Who's repping Flint, Michigan? I want to see that, dummy. Who's repping Mississippi? What is it? What part of Mississippi? Jackson. That's an all-black city. Y'all know that, right? Like 82% of the people in Jackson is Negro. You representing Jackson? You ready?
That's funny.
What's that?
Just even on that, me and my dad lived out there in Jackson, Mississippi.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only place we could live because every place else was like super.
Oh,
racist.
damn. Super white?
Yeah, super white.
Really?
Yeah, so we had to live in Jackson.
How was that?
It was cool.
Did the water look like this?
I was younger at
Did
that
the
time.
water look like this?
I was younger at the time. I don't know.
Like somebody emptied a vacuum into the water bottle and just shook it up? Damn. Yeah, because you know they've been having problems with their water for years. It's been 20, 30 years that they've been having a water problem. Yeah. Go from there. Oh man, go from there. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, 13. What's that?
Just on the, I'm gonna put myself on blast. But according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, right?
Bring it out. No.
So I got a Mexico tattoo, right?
Read. You got a Mexico. You got a Brownsville. You got a.
I got a Mexico tattoo. Then I got a Texas tattoo.
Right.
Then I got a Valley tattoo.
Oh damn.
Then I got the city tattoo.
Ain't no
And
love.
then I got the hood tattoo.
Dang,
Just-
bro. Are you serious?
So it's just
That's
like whatever different.
Is that 5?
It's whatever zone I'm in.
That's like that's.
see.
Let me idolize that.
Yeah, let me figure out where you're at.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Damn.
And then the hood stamp.
Right. So and that's our people, right?
Funny.
I'm gonna represent everything. I'm gonna represent everything, even a place that I don't even own, that don't even want me. Right? America don't want you. You fight over the block, but America don't want you here. They'd rather ship you to Africa, or ship you to jail, or ship you just anywhere. I mean, Trump said it, right? He said, "Look, we'll pay for y'all to go back to Africa." Y'all remember that, do y'all? See, they gotta go back into Trump's campaign. Trump was like, "Send them back. We'll gladly oblige." But we represented it like and idolize it and pedestalize it like we're really wanted, and we're not wanted. What's that?
You know, just on the whole idolatry and stuff, I learned something today. Fetish.
Oh wow.
Fetish isn't always a sexual thing, like to have a fetish.
Right.
Like, so the definition of fetish, it's an inanimate object worship for its supposed magical powers, or because it is considered to be inhabited by a spirit.
Ooh. Damn. So I have a fetish.
So
You always hear like foot fetish.
you hear about things like that, but then when people are worshiping these idols, they have a fetish towards these idols. They have a fetish for their city.
So that ganja.
Their ganja, they have a fetish towards their ganja
It has
because
spiritual powers.
there's a spirit in it.
It gets me closer to Yah. No, it don't. It actually separates you and gets you even further from God, and you sound stupid. This is straight up what it is. So fetish, I like that. Where we at? Wisdom of Solomon. Let's end it. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 11. Right? No.
13.
Yeah. 13 and what?
You can call it verse.
Oh, Salakia. 13 and verse 10.
Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 10. But miserable are they,
Right?
and in dead things is their hope.
And this is the wicked, this is the proud. It says they're miserable and they hope in dead things. Go ahead.
Who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands,
Right.
gold and silver,
Right?
to show art in and resemblances of
It
beasts.
said that it was the see, this is the coldest part. It said it was to show art.
Damn.
But you took it and idolized it and worshipped it and turned it into something that was going to be your salvation. It was art. On the onset, because there was nothing wrong with having art. Solomon had art all through the temple. Right? But then who started worshiping lilies? A dummy. Who started worshiping the 12 lions he had lined up to the throne? Because Solomon had statues. He had 6 lions on each side. He had lily work. Right? He had pomegranates. He had this. He had that. Everything overlaid with gold. But what dummy decided, like, oh man, you know what? This lion right here, wow, you know, Leo's. And, you know, I was born in the month of the Leo. Oh, that's my guy right there. He's my new god, Leo.
Or people are like so superstitious that because that lion would happen to be there, and then they met a special somebody. It's like, oh, it was because of this lion being right here, this statue.
Like elephants.
Elephants. Oh, good luck.
Oh my gosh.
Prosperity when you have an elephant with the trunk up.
Yeah.
Every time I have one of these, money and wealth just comes my way.
And you go to their purse and they got little elephant statues.
On the keychain.
On
All through the house.
or on their dashboard, a little bobblehead elephant. Right? You got the elephant musk smell. That's a bad smell. Read on. Read on. I got corny jokes, I know. Read on.
Or a stone good for nothing.
Right?
The work of an ancient hand.
Yeah, man, or a stone good for nothing. You got many stones that are good for nothing. The ones cats were talking about they're gonna rub together, the ones that cats talking about they're gonna sniff, and the ones that people worship walking around them. There's a lot of different stones. And guess what? They're good for nothing. Crack kills. Islam kills. And stones can kill you. Ask Goliath.
Dang.
Right?
Hey.
I made that up.
That's
right. But that's it, man.
Rock kill.
Wait, what verse was that?
13 and 10.
Rocks kill. Right, 13 and 10.
Any person has been stoned.
Yeah, so yeah, that was that for the intro little class, right? Hopefully y'all liked it. And like
I just thought about one.
Well, what?
When people say they're getting stoned,
yeah,
like
stones kill.
Stoned to death.
Yeah.
You getting high? You getting stoned?
Getting stoned.
Oh
Yeah.
man, see, you just click right now.
So yeah, we'll come back with these plagues and start diving into these gods, right? So stay tuned for that. I don't know when I don't know when I'll do the first one. Probably do it next week. I'll probably do it next Wednesday. Get it started. Get this Egyptian bashing going. Get this Egyptian rhetoric. Any questions? Any questions on that? All right. Well, we thank everybody for joining us. Real quick, Passover, garment money for brothers. Send it in, please. We did say we have the feast day on the 26th. That's a Monday. We're not going to have class. That's Memorial blowing of the trumpets. That's 19 days from now, 2.5 weeks. There was something else. Oh, I do want to do, Rochester's doing it, and I've been kind of hinting towards it and talking about it. And we actually had it here going on. I want to get back on collecting canned goods and non-perishables. We got to do it just in case something happens, is like weather related, or if somebody needs something. We gotta have something to be able to give to somebody in need, right? So bring your non-perishables. I'll talk more about it as time goes on. But non-perishables, canned goods, and things like that, things that can last, things that we could store up, kind of in a corner somewhere.
Right.
And again, you got people. It was more at the old school. We had a lot of homeless people coming through, and we were able to give them things out of the pantry. But remember, the scriptures say you store up your alms for what does it say? You store up alms for the time of your need, basically. So if you go to the store and you just shop and grab a few extra canned goods, they're I don't want to say things are cheap anymore because they're not, right? But if everybody does it, we'll have some stuff in the back. And we'll probably set up a date once a month to bring things, store it up, and then obviously if it gets too much, we'll hold off, but just to get some things in the school, right? Canned goods, a little extra toilet paper, a little extra hand sanitizer, maybe some medical supplies, right? I think, did you bring some medical stuff a while ago? I think so, right? But yeah, at one time, Bakar was sending those things from New York, but he ain't in New York no more. He's in VA, but he would be sending like the little small travel lotions and soaps, and so even stuff like that, you just never know, right? A little bit of travel. Somebody could hit him up, find out where he was getting that stuff from. I think it was his rib, but she would send like a bunch of Like I still use like the little mini Vaselines. I throw one in the car. She said hand sanitizer, lotion, soap.
Oh, yeah, that was clutch.
Yeah. Oh, right. So it'd be good to have because you just never know. Everybody's on their. We're not panicking. The scriptures say faith without works is dead. So you got to have some work towards what you believe. The Most High is always going to take care of us no matter what you store. And what you store can always be plundered, right? If your mind ain't right, but you still got to put some work, and it's good to have. All right? So we'll come up with a day. What do y'all say? What day? What's a day that we can have everybody bring stuff to the school? What's a good day? Let's do it now. If we wait, I'm not gonna get to it.
Maybe like the middle of the month.
Middle of the month, what? The 15th, the 16th?
Yeah, maybe like the 15th.
The 15th of the month? Yeah, it ain't gotta be nothing crazy. Like you don't gotta do a whole shopping spree. Everybody bring like 2 or 3 canned goods, right? 2 or 3 canned goods per household, right?
Right.
Everybody can't bring them. Everybody can't bring just canned corn. Canned corn, or what's the other one? Hominy. Everybody trying to bring hominy? Nah, you gotta bring. Try to get some diversity, some different things, right? Because you just never know. Get what you would need if you needed it.
Right.
See that? Get what you would want if you needed it. Like, damn, I want some canned goods. Canned goods are not that great, but you can still get some good stuff in the can, right? In time of need. But if everybody just gets the cream corn, you don't do much. Get the green beans, right? Get the green beans, right? So, yeah. So everybody good with the 15th? Again, not to break nobody's pockets or anything like that. If you got to bring 1 canned good, just bring it on the 15th. All right. So we'll go through. One of these officers will go on the chat and announce it to make sure that whoever's not here is putting in also. We should be able to go in the back if we need something and grab it if you need it, right? That's what the school is here for. We should be able to take things and use things at the school, as long as we're putting them in. Cool. Let's all put our hands in. Go team. All right, we thank everybody for joining us online. And with that, we're going to put our hands in again and say, Shalom. Right?
Love it.
See, y'all thought I was going to do it. Shalom.
I was going to go.
Right?
Chilling up in the kingdom, chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the brothers and the sisters, cooling out, having fun, drinking yayin with Yahweh Shai.